the day will come. But no matter how hard you prepare, be positive, look at things ahead, it does kind of hit your heart, so forgive me if I stumble. It's very hard to portray a man's life and who and what he was in a few words, the eulogy of 5 minutes. It's a sliver in the spectrum of time. Many of you knew my dad, but there are a lot of things you don't know about him. My dad was born the son of a New York City police officer who was appointed in 1922. Both his mother and father were deceased by the time he was around 14 or 15 years old. And what I'm going to say next is, I think, truly part of what defined him and who and what he was. The children in that family stuck together. They literally survived in the streets of New York, working part-time jobs that were never placed. They're the definition, in my opinion, of what family is. My Uncle Jimmy and my dad had a great idea of joining the Marine Corps Reserves for extra money. But the problem was the Korean War broke out, so shortly after they did that, it was no longer the reserve duty. My dad came back from the Corps, became a New York City police officer, and was issued his father's shield. While he liked being a cop, his heart was in becoming a fireman. And his lifelong dream became true, and he was appointed to the New York City Fire Department. And of course, he married my mom. He achieved quite a lot and rose to one of the highest ranking uniform positions in the nation, as Chief of Department, Fire Department of the City of New York. I was very, very proud of him. During this time, my mother was ill from cancer, and they may have wanted to make him a pointed job and battle. And I remember saying, Dad, how the heck do you get through this? Mom's dying. Your next lifelong dream, you don't know whether it's going to happen. And he said to me, Don, it's all nonsense. I got food in my mouth and a roof over my head and a great family. My father gave me great advice. I also said that I would never have had the position in the UFA that I had had if it was not for him. The only two things I'm going to mention, and certainly a time when I opened my mouth when I shouldn't, but he would say, Don, you don't have anything to gain by saying something, then don't say it. Don't tick somebody off that you're going to have to shake his hand next week. And I've applied that in my life many times. The other thing he always used to say is, when you ever get two people arguing, one of them saying, well, it's about the principle. So they're always on the losing end of the stick. He had great wisdom that never wavered. He lived a life with a code of honesty, moral and values. And him and Christine lived in Pennsylvania, and we'd go out to eat. I could see his eyes light up when he saw the grandchildren. And this man who came from nothing and achieved so much, he would always take the time to kid around, talk, do tricks, all kinds of stuff with these children in my family when they were very young. And it was great to see him. My father had opinions, but he had no prejudices or resentments. If he ever did, and I didn't know about it, I'm sure they were very short-lived. My father also recorded music, played the guitar, he painted, he used to paint with my sister Geraldine. He was a pilot and flew planes. And he was an actor in the Staten Island Civic Theater. And I remember one time, Commissioner Shaky was the commissioner, he told me, he said, Commissioner, I'm going to take a day off and go flying tomorrow. And the commissioner said, thanks for the warning, I'll stay over Route 9. He also had a funny side. It's the only funny long story I'll tell you. The rest is left, kept where it is. Right before I got out, I was in headquarters, and an old timer was down the hall, he was getting straight. And he says, you Don Ruland, son? I said, yeah. And he had like that smile. Whether it was Dad or Uncle Jimmy, as soon as you mentioned the name, whoever it was in the department, they kind of smiled. He told you a lot about who they were. He said, I was working with the father one day. Real serious, he says to me, get the car, get the jacket, and meet me downstairs quick. I said, all right, what happened? He says, your dad, Pulled up, my dad ran downstairs, jumped in, he said, get to this intersection forthwith. Put the lights and signs on, it was about 90. I said, yeah, what we just going to? He said, your father got out of the car, opened the door and said, what do you want on your grabber, sauerkraut, mustard, or just mustard? And that's a true story. So, he was a piece of work, he loved a good time, he loved to laugh. Before I say the final statements and close, I have said this at many of the functions I've spoken at, my family said something. Most in the fire department, we're blessed because we have two things. Some people are homeless. We have all wonderful, loving family in the fire department. I wanted to take the time. I hope everybody gives them an applause, because I've been on that other side of the rig my whole career. Now I'm on this side of the coffin. It's not easy. I just want to say you guys showing up ceremonially and what you did to provide honor, dignity, love, and respect for my family. I have served with no final end. And the Ruland family thanks you from the bottom of their heart. In closing, I try to look for words that I feel represent my father and who he was. And I've been to many of these people always many of them recite words from Abraham Lincoln's speech about families that have sacrificed so much on the altar of freedom. And I thought long and hard about it, and they're very simple words. And it's about bonding family, love, that's for life. They're very, very old words that were said about the battlefield a long time ago. My parallel is the battlefield of life. Well, no matter what happens, you always remain positive. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers. For he who sheds his blood with me will forever be my brother. You have lived your life by that, Dad. You are our father, our brother, our mentor, and our friend. You have loved us and taught us so much. You are the best dad a family can have. We shall see you again one day. Goodbye, Dad. Thank you.